Hey there, how you doing?
Okay,
Can you
what's
hear me?
up, man?
Not much. Nice to meet you.
Yeah, nice to talk to you too, man. I got a comment from you in my MundaneMatt video, and you let me in on the fact that you actually attended film school with MundaneMatt.
Yeah, him and I met in 2005 when I returned back to school after having my kid.
Okay, wow.
I met him in school. We actually teamed up.
Oh, really?
Oh yeah, we were pretty good friends for a while, and then the same shit you guys that you're seeing now. He started way back then. He was doing that.
Wow.
He'd come to my sets and just talk a lot of mad shit, and then you'd confront him. Oh, I didn't say shit. I didn't say anything.
Yeah, interesting. Very interesting.
Oh man! So to see this going down now it's pretty crazy. I'm not surprised.
Yeah, it didn't sound like it based on your comment. So just for the record, what film school was it that you attended with Matt?
Grossmont College. It's a little community college. Is that here in San Diego?
Oh, okay, San Diego. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Really interesting. When did you? So you said you crossed paths with Matt. Was there an instance or like a moment that stands out when you first realized that you really didn't like Matt?
It was actually near the end. I gave this guy a benefit of the doubt because he was pretty talented for a new kid in film. He was a good writer. That was the skill I was weak in. So that's how we kind of partnered up. I was a producer and a director. I knew how to do a lot of different things in film, but writing was kind of my weakness. Huh. And I met this kid in writing class that could bust out a screenplay in just a couple hours.
So you'd say he's extremely gifted when it comes to making things up?
Yes. So when he started streaming and doing his thing, it didn't surprise me because that's what he does there. He does 24/7 when he's awake. Huh. Wherever we were going, the guy would always talk, and he would be talking about the same mundane shit that he does on his show. All of this gossip and news about games and television and movies. So, I mean, it was interesting to see him actually find some kind of success in it. But just like in Jarbo fashion, he had to go douche it up.
Yeah. Yeah, well, this is really interesting, man. I don't think many people out there have kind of like an insight of, pre-YouTube MundaneMatt. Everybody kind of has the vision of him as the fence sitter that just at one point I don't even know if he's still. I guess he's still doing it, where he looks at a news article and basically just reads to the audience. It's very uninspired.
It is
garbage.
Yeah, when I went into film school to graduate, you had to jump through a bunch of hoops, and one of them was to do an internship, and you had to do this for 2 different semesters. Now, I've been a internet professional and a IT professional for quite some time prior to this. So when I got into school, I decided, going and being an intern wasn't going to work for me. So I built a production company.
Oh, wow.
And I built a production company, and I started putting students, including myself, through that program. So at least we would have an internship that was doing film.
That's
and
pretty smart,
I did that with
man.
Matt. Matt was part of our production crew. We were called Fat Samurai Productions. And I joined up with another friend of mine from Phoenix, brought him to San Diego, and he was brilliant screen. We put his equipment together with my crew and started building a company. And it was going really well until about 2007. And then as we started getting success, people's egos started taking over. And Matt's was one of them.
Yeah, he definitely has a big ego.
Yeah, and trying to, like you guys are noticing, criticism for him is really hard for him to take.
Oh, yes.
So it just kind of fell apart.
Yeah, the criticism's hard enough for him to just start false flagging people. I don't know how familiar you are with that practice on YouTube.
I am getting familiar. I watched a bunch of those videos last night. But he would do that against his own friends, basically talking shit to his other friends,
God.
But then when you get to his face, he's like, "Oh, I didn't say shit. It must have been somebody else."
Yeah, spineless, completely spineless, man. That doesn't surprise me. So would you say in film school that Matt had found a place? Did he really fit in, or was he kind of like an odd man out?
No, he was popular with the other kids because he was friendly, he talked a lot. He the things that he talks about are very, mundane. He picked a good name for himself.
I wouldn't say it's great marketing wise, but it does fit him very well. Yeah.
Yeah. It fits his character. Pretty much most people liked him because he was personable. Okay. But it all seemed to be like an act. Getting to know the real Jarbo was very difficult.
Yeah, that's. I think you're a lot more on point than you realize with that. And we've discovered through a lot of digging that Matt's had. He's got more YouTube channels than anyone I've ever seen on YouTube, and each one is some different angle or character that he's coming up with. I don't know if you're aware of, I forget the name of the podcast or the blog he had started, but it was some blog where he was claiming he was, people were saying that he was going to start a race war or something, and he was trying to be edgy as hell. It was just really cringy. Obviously that didn't work out for him too well.
So the little sock puppet thing, that's the first time I'd ever heard of him being racist at all. Like, the polar bear. He never comes across that way. He's never come across someone that was about trying to push that agenda. So seeing that, I think he was trying to be comedic.
Yeah, I think he was trying to be comedic, but
very, very short.
Yeah, the root of all comedy, there's a little base of truth there, and I think I think it fits in with the spinelessness part. It may be a little bit of something that he really did feel and maybe wanted to express. He did actually talk about. He commented on the Polly the polar bear thing and talked about how when he made that, he was in a bad place. He had just moved away from a bad neighborhood or something like that, and that he had a lot of built up anger and aggression and stuff like that. And all I could think was like, you could just outright disown that entire thing, but yeah, he took an Ambien.
Take an Ambien?
Him and Roseanne's been hanging out, huh?
That's right. Man, it's interesting to this video to watch someone basically lie, and then out themselves.
Yeah.
Right there in front of you guys. That blew me away.
Yeah, we'll probably never get something like that again. That was a once in a lifetime moment there.
Yeah, that was pretty special because it's rare that you see someone that lies like that and then actually open up and just admit that they were lying. We have things happening in our world right now that this parallels.
Yeah, and it was interesting, and I like I said, I don't think we're ever going to see something like that again. What shocked me is that I still on that video, I get a lot of comments from people. You get the different groups within YouTube. In the first comments that came through, they were all people who were in on what was going on and they were fully informed. And as time goes on, it kind of the circle expands out into a bigger area of people who
as it proliferates,
and they're not in on everything. They don't even know who the people are that are talking, and they're just making these comments. And one comment I keep getting is, well, at least he owned up to it. And my response to that, most of the time I don't respond to those kind of comments, but like if I was to, my response to that would just simply be like, he didn't own anything. He got caught.
He got caught. He got totally caught. When that guy said, you could show your report history, that was it. He was hung, and he knew it. And he was trying. That the reason he was delaying was because he was trying to find a quick way out, and couldn't.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you could hear the gears turning in his head, man. He was trying to think of everything. There's still some people that think he may have used some external plugins to edit that page and maybe get rid of some things, and just didn't have enough time to get rid of everything.
I'm sure he has multiple accounts, and he probably has people that work with him. He had a pretty tight knit group when he was here. It would surprise me if some of them still work with him to do things on the internet.
Yeah.
A lot of those faces that you see in his early videos are people that he was friends with when I met him.
Okay.
And they would just do a lot of silly productions.
Yeah. Well, let me ask you, while Matt was at film school, was there ever an instance where, maybe he slipped up and you saw this character from him of kind of the dishonest liar, or maybe a little bit of Polly the polar bear slipped out or anything like that?
Well, if he was doing anything like Polly the polar bear, it was always his antics were taken as they were just antics. They weren't really what the guy was about, because he did a lot of stupid stuff. I mean, he really liked stupid comedy. He was always emulating Kevin Smith or Jack Black.
Yeah,
he felt very kin to them.
Yeah, I'm not surprised to hear that. I've actually watched Matt way back in the day, long before any of this all came back up, and I do remember his call outs to Kevin Smith and how people say he looks like Kevin Smith. You could tell he relished in any comparison with himself and Kevin Smith.
Oh, totally. He totally tries to bank on that.
Absolutely. So did you, while you were in film school with Matt, did you actually ever see any of his work? Did he actually create any films or anything while he was there?
Yeah, we did some together. They weren't the greatest because we were students. We didn't really know how to make a good film at that time. So when we were doing projects for school, they were pretty cheap, low budget. But him and I actually, when we teamed up, we kind of changed the way the school program worked. And after we were done, they started making policy changes at the school to better the program. So while we didn't put out the best productions, the ideas of how to get students to collaborate, he was part of that. Him and I put that together, where we took different teams and brought them all together under one production. That's actually the beginning of Fat Samurai Productions.
Huh, wow.
Was that. So we did a lot of good, even though we didn't make the best films. By 2007, we're graduating. We're actually starting to make better stuff. We're working in a studio, and we enter a 48-hour film production contest that we did pretty well. You guys have mentioned that. Somebody has. He had the listing for Crew. That film was made in 48 hours, and he was the writer of that, and he was part of the reason it was successful, because he was able to write so fast.
Okay.
His writing sometimes is contrived. So, but that's why him and I were a good team, because he could write out a script and then I could go through it and polish it up. So we were a pretty good writing team together. But he didn't really. I don't think he liked to share that spotlight.
Yeah, I could see that. Definitely see that.
So
now,
after our biggest success, we split. It was kind of shitty.
Oh, really? So after he found a little bit of success, you guys went your separate ways there?
Pretty much.
Wow. Okay. Well, just to address, I want to go, call back to the original comment that you sent me. The original comment that I found on my video from you, it read, "This is totally him. He has been like this since film school 2005. Could you tell me, and forgive me if I'm forcing you to repeat yourself, because I know you did kind of touch on this a little bit earlier, but can you tell me what Matt was doing in the past that kind of mirrored his current situation?"
As we were wrapping up after our success, that we had a few more shoots, and he would sit there and pretty much sandbag me while I was working. He would start a lot of drama and controversy and then try to distance himself from it like it was happening without him. But everybody knew it was him.
So what kind of things was he?
He was just talking shit. Yeah. I wish I could remember the actual details. It's been a long time.
Yeah,
it's been 10 years. Just a lot of derogatory remarks.
And you felt they were completely unfounded, and
yeah.
Well, that's understandable, man. He definitely seems to be the kind of person that will run his mouth when you're not there, and then when you show up, he'll come up with some excuse. I don't know if you caught on to the whole Boulder meme. Dude, that to me, that's one of my favorite things on the internet. Like, I haven't laughed that hard in forever. Yeah, his excuse for not it, because how this all started originally was Ethan Ralph of the Kill Stream got a hold of the Polly the Polar Bear video, which was dug up by the YouTuber Mr. Mediker, and Ethan Ralph, being a decent guy, he gave Matt a heads up and said, hey, here, we've got this video, and we're going to talk about it. And if you'd like to come on and, either defend yourself or give your side of the story, the floor's open to you. We'd love to have you come on. And he didn't respond. And he didn't respond the entire day. And Ethan, didn't pursue it any farther than that. Went ahead with his live stream, and within less than a minute, the stream was just taken down just like that. And the only time something like that can really happen is if somebody from YouTube is actually watching, which there's been so many controversial things on that live stream. The polar bear is, as crazy as that video was, it's far from the most controversial thing that's ever been on that show. For the show to start up and within less than a minute for it to get yanked, a lot of people, including myself, were thinking that's got to be Matt, because he's got the sub number. When you have that many subs, right, you do have more of a pull with YouTube. You do have more authority when it comes to flagging things. And that was the only thing that we could think was he knew it was coming, and he was probably sitting there waiting on it. And the second he saw Polly the polar bear pop up, he started flagging away. The surprising thing was it didn't show up when he showed his screen, but like I said earlier, his screen that did reveal all of his false flags. But like I said earlier, that there's a lot of people out there that feel like during that whole silent moment when he found out about that report history page that he could have easily been editing that thing.
Right. I could not find a way to remove a report.
I don't know if you know anything about...
I had one report, so I tried to remove it, but I couldn't find out how to remove it.
Yeah, it's not like it's not like officially removing is what the theory that people have is that you can actually edit any web page using Google if you have Google, or there's plugins that can do it, where you actually go in and find the script to the site and you can enter in anything you want, delete anything you want, and the way it looks on your screen is completely malleable. You can change it around. So that's the theory. Nobody can prove it.
I have no idea. I do know that he knows YouTube pretty well. He has been chasing YouTube since it first turned on. He pretty much is the one that told me about YouTube long ago.
Yeah, he seems to be pretty keen about it. And it's something that I'll give him this little bit of credit. I've never seen anyone try as hard as Matt when it comes to finding angles, but when it comes to actually creating content, he falls flat on his face.
Yes, that's why we were good team.
Yeah.
We were able to knock some of the silliness out and actually put some substance, but that didn't last too long.
Yeah.
Now, what can you do, right?
Now, my next question is, and again, I think you may have already hit this, but might as well go ahead and directly ask it. Did you ever suspect Matt of lying about anything back in film school? Was the lying already present in his personality back then?
I would say mostly just the shit talking.
The shit talking, and
then
denying it.
Yeah. As far as real substance stuff, he wasn't that tight there.
Yeah.
So it was just we were really close, and then he started sandbagging.
Yeah, it's amazing how much that parallels today when it comes to talking shit and then lying about it, or today flagging and lying about it. It was sweet justice when that all went down, though. Oh man, there's so many people that don't even know any of the parties involved that still love that video that I made. And I don't want to take all the credit for that video that I made. Most of that video is actually clips from this live stream, the kill stream, where they did all the groundwork. They laid all the groundwork down. All I did was kind of just talk about it. So I don't want to take any credit away from them. Those guys are hilarious. They're extremely controversial at times, but always entertaining.
You edited it well. You cut it down nicely. You left enough meat so you could get a good idea of what was happening.
Yeah, well, thank you.
Without having to listen for 2.5 hours.
Yeah, I appreciate that, man. I wanted to try to give as much context to what was going on, so that the argument that, oh, you're just taking this out of context, you're trying to make it look worse than it is. I think just allowing people to see the raw story unfold was the most effective way. It was just kind of cutting out the points in which the conversation's kind of derailed into other subjects. Right. As long as it was focused on the subject at hand, that just watching the natural conversation unfold was the most revealing part of all of it.
It was. Because, it just was so deny, and then that one guy, you could show your report history, and then you guys are like, you could screenshot that.
Yeah, that was Zidane.
Share it. Oh, that was it. Yeah, that was the news. It's like, oh yeah, why don't you screen share that shit?
Yeah, that was actually that was Zidane, who is the co-host of the Kill Stream. His AKA is the Bhutanese Butcher. After all of that went down, he became a little bit of a folk hero after that, just because he didn't take it easy on Matt at all, and him throwing it down and saying, hey, look, here's this page you can bring up, and we can put this all to rest right now.
And that's Keemstar too, right? That was just pounding on him.
Dude, Keemstar
giving him the the countdown.
Dude, yes, that was Keemstar. I gotta say this, man. Like, I've had issues with Keemstar in the past, which, to tell you, I don't know how much about Keemstar you know, but there was a lot of hate thrown his way. There was a lot of bad things said about him, and I was one of the people that believed it. And as time has gone on, it's been proven that the majority of the claims against Keemstar and the majority of the negative reports on his actions and stuff like that, most of that stuff has been proven over time to be completely untrue. The people that were most responsible for that were the YouTubers Leafy's here and Grade A Under A, and both of those people were exposed as being completely full of shit, and they had massive channels on the internet, and they basically have tucked tail and run off the internet, and they don't even make videos anymore. They don't do anything to their channels. So I really feel like Keem, within the past few years, has really been vindicated on a lot of the negative stuff. And I was one of the people, man, I did not like him based on what I was hearing from these two YouTubers, and to find out that it was completely untrue, that took me for a shock. But he's recently been interacting with a lot of the people on this live stream, the Kill Stream, and I gotta say, man, he has really won me over lately. I really like the dude now, and I don't know if you heard about this, but Mr. Medicare is the YouTuber that got Matt on the stream to say, "I'm sorry, I'm a soy-filled bitch," and flagged your videos. Can you believe? I can't
believe it, man. I cannot believe that was, dude. That's priceless. He was like, he got owned. That's total opponent right there. He got owned.
I've never seen a grown man just fall on his back and take it like that. That was embarrassing. I don't care what you catch me doing, you'll never find me submitting that hard. I mean, that wasn't a tap out. That was like a face slamming at a mat. Like, that was rough.
It is. I wanted to try and talk to him, see if he was okay, but he kicked me out of his Discord.
Who's that,
so I
Matt?
didn't even get a chance to talk to him.
Are you talking about Matt?
Yeah, I ran into this all yesterday? I saw his Twitch stream, and when I got to it, I saw that it was struggling, but the people that were in it were all talking about this event, and he was ignoring it.
Oh, yeah. I don't know if you've noticed that, but all of his new videos... Well, here's what happened after everything unfolded. Matt refused to even address this issue, which surprised everybody. He didn't even stop uploading videos to YouTube. He tried to continue on like nothing had happened. And if you go to any of those videos that have been coming out, I mean, the like to dislike ratio is insane. All of his comments are just people like, are you really not going to address this issue? Are you really trying to pretend like nothing's going on? Hey, Boulder Boy, you know, all this stuff. And if anything, I need to thank him for taking that route, because the only thing that did, I guess he thought he could just soldier on and nothing, everybody forget about it and move on, but and maybe they will, I don't know, but so far the only thing that it's done is alert the rest of his YouTube subscribers that come to his new videos. They see this insane amount of dislikes, way more than likes, and then they scroll down and they start reading about all this stuff in the comments. I know for a while, if you typed in MundaneMatt after the whole incident went down, I had the #1 video that popped up on the search. So I got this ridiculous amount of people watching my video, and people that have never heard me before. It actually helped me, and it got more of the word out about what Matt had done than if he had just addressed it and not given people a reason to just constantly hit him up on his videos. He did more damage to himself, I think, by not addressing it than addressing it.
Yeah, I probably agree with you, I think. Yeah, I do agree with you.
And I don't know if you're aware of this. He did actually issue an apology, but he didn't do it on his YouTube. He did it on Tumblr.
Yeah, I saw that, but I haven't seen the apology. I saw a bunch of videos talking about it, though. It
was the most spineless move, I think, outside of just flagging people in line about it, that he's made so far. And I think it was Ethan Ralph that posted about it on Twitter. He said that he posted a link to Matt's apology on Tumblr, and he said, Matt just posted his apology on Tumblr. The jokes write themselves. And I would have to agree with that. To me, it was just priceless. I couldn't believe, it's just spineless is what comes up every time I think about Matt.
Yeah, that is a good description for him.
So let me ask you, man.
Pretty spineless.
So let me ask you, how did you find my video?
So like I said yesterday, I saw that he was streaming. I hadn't seen him stream in a while on Twitch. And I noticed that his viewer count was way down. So I jumped over to his stream to see what he was doing, same old stuff. But he used to interact with his chat. This time he wasn't interacting with them at all until the end. He was just ignoring it, going through the paces. And someone on his stream that was, I think, eagerly awaiting for him to talk about this stuff, pointed out, you should probably go check out YouTube. So I slid over there. I'm not familiar with a lot of the stuff you guys are all doing. This is all new to me. Yeah. So I did pretty much a day's worth of research yesterday, going through all these videos and watching him get barbecued in the public forum.
Oh yeah, it's the new Coliseum, man.
Yeah, you pretty much you live by the sword, you die by the sword, and that's what's happening.
Yeah, I just wanted to ask because I'm curious. I've been getting a lot of comments from people on my MundaneMatt video telling me that it showed up in the recommended section of YouTube, which shocked me because of the fact that I inserted the polar bear clip completely unedited, because I felt like, really, if you edit it, you really take the oomph out of his little fuck up there. And so I put that in, and I honestly expected for that video to maybe get flagged down or just buried by YouTube, and to find out that YouTube was actually promoting the video. I mean, that shocked the hell out of me. So it was the last thing.
Because you're not promoting hate speech. You're actually talking against it.
Yeah, well, I was trying to, I'm reporting a news story. That's the way I looked at it. And, right. I made sure to include the text whenever I showed the polar bear video. This is a clip from a MundaneMatt video. So, I didn't want anybody to get it twisted that may think it's me doing that stupid shit or anything like that. But yeah, it definitely surprised me to find out that YouTube had it in the recommended section. Not what I was expecting.
It has some heat,
Yeah.
What we learned in film school was that no publicity is bad publicity. So you could be trying to ride that.
I do agree with you on that. I think there's a part of them that kind of saw this as horrible as it was for his quote unquote brand, as bad as it was. I think there was a part of them that felt like, well, maybe I can ride this wave. Maybe I can use this to my advantage. But I don't know if you've been paying attention to his subscriber count. I mean, the week after the 7 days that followed after his exposure on the kill stream, I mean, he lost an insane amount of subs. I think he dipped all the way down to 149,000 subs from 165,000. So he lost quite a bit of subs, and that's actually led to a really interesting moment where it appears that he or someone else had been buying subs, because he would be getting like 3,000 subs out of nowhere on like a Tuesday or like, the most ridiculous time it boosted.
Yeah, I saw the videos of them pointing that out, and that wouldn't surprise me.
Yeah, well, I mean, if you look at he did
stats are important to him.
Absolutely, and he's actually he released his book. I forget the title because it's so stupid, but you can get it online. I've actually looked into it a little bit. Yeah, it's comical.
Yes. He actually wrote that right after school. So after we leave school, I think he starts working on that book.
Yeah, there were things in that book that talked about how you can buy Twitter. He conveniently left out YouTube in this because it is against YouTube's terms of service to buy subscribers, but he did talk about in the book how you can buy Twitter subs, how you can buy Facebook follows, and the reasons why you might want to do that, things like that. So he is aware of these services, but he did conveniently leave out YouTube. I'm under no illusion that he doesn't know about it. But what is kind of messed up is I feel like there are other people out there that are trying to get involved in this and play around. And I think there have been other people out there that are buying subs for Matt just to stir up more controversy. So I think maybe initially he had bought subs, but I think at this point, I don't know.
I would not be surprised if more videos got flagged and it wasn't him.
Oh, yeah.
Because of that. The copycats, just to make it get him all burned up.
Yeah, there's actually a controversy right now. The guy, Mr. Medicare, I've been telling you about, he actually got his channel flagged down and was removed from YouTube, was removed from Twitter, and was removed from Facebook all on the same day. And a lot of people's knee-jerk reaction was, oh, it's definitely Matt. It's got to be Matt. And I'm not one of the people that believe that. Mr. Medicare has made quite a few enemies. You should definitely check out his YouTube channel. It's fantastic. But he pisses off a lot of people, a lot more than just Matt. So I'm not really sold on the fact that it was Matt that was responsible for that. But I think there were people out there willing to do stuff like that at this moment now because Matt's such a open target and has made himself known to be that kind of person.
It's a shame. I don't like to see bullying, but sometimes when you're doing the bullying, it's good to get caught and learn what's at stake.
Well, yeah, one of the people affected by this was a guy that goes by the name of Failure on YouTube. He's the co-host of the Kumite, another show on YouTube that's kind of similar to the Kill Stream.
I'm talking to somebody right now. I'm sorry. Hold on one second.
Yeah, no problem.
I'm on an interview. Thanks.
But
Go ahead.
so Failure was a guy. He's the co-host of the Kumite, and he actually really, relied on his live streams and his ability to live stream and host shows on his show in order to make super chats and bring in an income. And this guy was not somebody who's wealthy by any means. He was somebody who actually was
working for a living.
Was working. He was, it is entertainment, but he was still working. And to have somebody like MundaneMatt come in, and this is kind of like an unspoken thing between YouTubers. You don't go out there and flag on your fellow YouTubers unless they've done something incredibly egregious. And to falsely flag a YouTuber is such a grave sin in this community. It's unthinkable, and that's kind of why he's getting so much of the backlash. I mean, even his own friends, his YouTube buddies, wouldn't even mention his name when trying to give him advice over Twitter and stuff. They make extremely general statements, but you could tell they're kind of alluding to Matt on, hey man, you just need, if somebody's talking bad about you, just let them talk, blah blah blah. They wouldn't even. He's become such a toxic or just a hot issue to handle that people don't even want to touch him, man. For him to do what he did, I feel like he definitely got just desserts on that, and I was happy to see a little bit of justice paid,
I agree. Well, it also shows to others that come after him.
Yeah.
Watch out.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure there's quite a few people that from now on will be, if they're doing their lame flagging bullshit, that they're going to be at least smart enough to do it on an alternate account. Now that it's been put out that you can check that.
I have no idea why he's. If I was him at that moment, I would have ghosted.
Dude, that's everybody says. That's what everybody says. He would have looked better just making something up. Like, I mean, he's already a liar. He's already telling. Why not? Yeah. Why stop now? Why didn't he just say, "Hey, you know what,
man?
I gotta pick up a boulder. I'll be right back." And he just log off. But
hey guys, look over there.
Yeah, what I think is that he was so caught up in denying that he had flagged the kill stream that he lost sight of the fact that he's been flagging all these other YouTube channels like the what was it, the Kumite, Andy Worski, Dame Pesos, who Dame Pesos, it's so funny. At the very beginning of Matt's entire interview, he is outright denying having anything to do with it and saying, this Dame Pesos, somebody's doing this and they know I'm going to get blamed for it. I swear to God. And then
so that's the thing. And whenever you hear him say that, I swear to God, full of shit.
Yeah, that's definitely
anytime he uses, if he was playing poker, that's his tell. He uses those exclamations to try and push you off. You're in the right direction. That was something that I caught on with him long ago.
He's definitely got his tells, man. That's a great way to put it.
And that was one of them, and you could hear him, and the way he says things, and the way he comes, like when he was getting at Keemstar, when he found out that Keemstar was actually on that call, and he started getting indignant towards him. Yeah, that's another tell. That Matt knows he's in the wrong somewhere, and he's playing it up.
Yeah, I don't know if you caught on to that, but Keemstar got a little visit from the FBI at one point when MundaneMatt got swatted. Now he denies this, but he denies a whole lot of stuff that doesn't really add up at this point in time. And I really think that when Matt got swatted, he had, at that time was in a fight with Keemstar, and I don't know who swatted Matt. Some people think that Matt swatted Matt for the attention. So I don't really know about that. But what I do think is that actually Matt absolutely told the police, hey, I'm in a fight with this guy, Keemstar. I think he swatted me. With no evidence, nothing to base it off of, just sheer hatred.
It wouldn't sound far from the truth, I bet.
Yeah, so Keem got a little visit from the FBI, and that had a lot to do with why Keem, because Keem, he knows better. I'm sure he saw right through the bullshit and then saw the fact that, because the FBI actually said that Matt is the one that told them that Keem swatted him. So,
right,
the FBI, I guess, was lying according to Matt.
Well, from the different things I've heard Matt say about it yesterday was that he mentioned that he was in a fight. They asked, was he having altercations with anybody? And that's when he brought up Keemstar's name.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's in the realm of possibility.
It is possible.
As far as Keem doing it, that's all based on Keem's character. Does it seem like something he would do?
I think
you guys would know. I don't know Keemstar.
Here's the thing. I think Keem has way too much to lose to play those kind of games.
Right. And he does, and he seems a pretty straightforward guy.
He's decent. I've had my issues. Like I said, I've had my issues with him in the past. Those issues have been washed away, and I really, especially, I don't know if I finished. I was saying this earlier that Mr. Medicare got falsely flagged and kicked off YouTube, Twitter, and Facebook. Now Keem doesn't have any kind of pull with Twitter or Facebook, but Keem actually used, he's got quite a large audience. He's got some inside contacts at YouTube because of his size and the popularity of his channel, and he used his influence with YouTube and his inside connections at YouTube to actually bring attention to Medicare's situation and get Medicare's YouTube channel reinstated.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, he totally won me over with that, man.
I'm a fan of people that appreciate community. That's what I'm all about.
Yeah.
I'm all about community.
Absolutely. And be totally honest, like, he didn't have to do anything. Medicare's not like a huge, well-known YouTuber. He's got his cult following. He's definitely got his people. But there was really no reason for Keem to do that other than the fact that I feel like he's a decent human being, man. He, like I said, he won me over with that. But anyway, man,
it's good to pay attention to those cues, right?
Say that again. Say.
Sorry, you there?
Yeah, I'm sorry. Can you say that again real quick?
I said it's important to pay attention to those cues.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, when you see something in somebody, whether it's positive or negative, it's important to pay attention.
Yeah, well...
and that's what I thought was so important about your stream that night that you shared, or the kill streams, was that's exactly what was exposed.
Yeah.
Was these different qualities in people.
Absolutely, man.
I mean, you guys all held somebody to the fire that was caught lying, and it's justice, and it's good to see that in a public forum so others take heed.
Yeah, I think there was a lot of people that took attention to what was going on there, and I feel like the overall impact of that episode of the kill stream is going to be a positive for years to come, man.
I think so. I think you'll get a lot of hits on your video and their kill stream video. I'm sure you'll get more hits because you've condensed it.
Well, yeah,
a lot of people don't have a 2.5 hour attention span.
No joke. But it's going to be that, and the fact that the kill stream has constantly, it's such a controversial show that it's constantly having to move from channel to channel because any channel that hosts it gets flagged, and as soon as you get flagged, you're not able to stream. So I think it's on its like 5th channel now, where it's it's to the point where people who enjoy the show, they're all kind of waiting in line, for their turn to host it because everybody that hosts it at some point, they get a flag, and then, it's got to pass it on. Like I said, they're not afraid to discuss any issue, and I mean that. Like, there's a lot of people that claim, there's no taboo here.
Right.
There's always something. So far in the kill stream, I haven't heard a single topic that's been rejected. Ethan Ralph will bring on literally anyone as long as they want to come on the show and discuss things, and he's not afraid to sit there and argue with the guest and go back and forth. It's interesting, man. They call it internet blood sports. Yeah,
well, I'm interested in checking it out. It sounds interesting. I've not heard of it until now, so
yeah, just search kill stream.
I'm going to do that. I'm an opinionated person myself, so
Absolutely.
I'm looking forward to listening to some of this stuff.
Well, man, I want to just thank you for hanging out with me and giving me this little moment to get some inside scoops on MundaneMatt here. This has been very informative, and I really appreciate you taking the time. Is there any social media or projects or anything that you're working on right now? Maybe websites or something that you want to plug here?
The only thing I've been slowly working on is Twitch. I do a stream on Monday nights. It's some nights. I'm a disabled vet, so my longevity, like you guys stream quite a bit. I'm not able to do that.
Yeah, I'm
every once in a while I get on Twitch under Cyclonus Draconia.
Yeah,
I do a stream called "Failure is Always an Option."
Failure is always an option.
It's how bad you can fail at video games.
That's pretty good. So, what's your Twitch handle?
Cyclonus Draconia.
Cyclonus Draconia, just like here in the chat.
Yes, just like here in the chat.
All right, cool, man. Well, I'll be sure to send a little plug on that one there. And I appreciate you hanging out with me, man. This was really good, dude. I appreciate it.
Hey, my pleasure. Anytime.
Yeah, and if you ever want to talk or you ever got some new information or anything you want to throw my way, don't hesitate to hit me up, man.
Most certainly. I'll pay attention to what you're doing on your stream, see what you're all about, and anything I come across, I'll shoot your way. Yeah,
don't get it twisted though. I don't really stream too often. I don't have that kind of endurance. I'm more of a edited video kind of guy, but
hey, it all works.
But I got nothing but respect for the people that pull that live streaming off.
Yes, well, me too. I've tried to do it.
It's not easy, right?
It isn't. I mean, I deal with a brain condition, so it makes it a little more difficult for myself. But yeah, mad props to these people that put out 5-10 hours of content a day on Twitch.
That's insane.
It is. I've been studying this phenomenon, live streaming, this last 6 months to a year to try and figure out what's going on, and the amount of money I'm seeing being dropped on streamers.
Yes.
It's like I've watched people drop $1,000. Bam.
Yeah. It's pretty impressive. Nothing. It's literally it's monetizing influence at this point. It's really crazy.
Pretty much. Yeah, and I still haven't got my handle on why that's happening, because like I'm upset about paying $10 a month for Netflix. Why would I want to drop $100 on somebody? But people are doing it, and I don't understand why, but I'm going to figure it out.
Yeah, I think it's really, people see something they like, they want to support it somehow, and maybe they want to have a more personal connection with the person streaming. Easiest way to stand out, drop some coin.
Yeah, and you become popular.
Yeah, absolutely.
The more bits you drop, or the more they say your name, that seems to be part of it. I'm fascinated. I'm blown away. It's nothing I'd ever seen. The internet has created some interesting niches, I'll tell you that.
Absolutely. I just think I like it because you don't see many things now that are able to hold people's attention very long. I think people's short attention span has become an ever-growing issue, I think, in our world, and to find something that can hold people's attention for hours at a time, it's really interesting to see how that's kind of evolving.
Is. That's a good point, because it's true. The 5-second, 10-second bit, the 15-second little video, the 30 seconds, all these little cuts have really shortened the attention span of people. If you watch an old movie like 1950s, and you look at the way they cut and edit that film, really long cuts. Now you go to one of our action films today, and it's like half-second, 1-second cut, bam, bam, bam. The cuts are just, it's all in your face. It's all close now. It's all like montage cuts instead of just let all of the drama.
Yeah, we need more Lawrence of Arabia.
So that's something that where Matt and I, if we come back to Matt, we wanted to bring back radio drama, because that's something that's part of that.
Huh.
And that's where we were going to go, was we were going to try and bring back radio drama. Well,
I'll say
the mystery theater stuff, and different ways of getting people's attention back to listening instead of these fast cuts.
That's so interesting.
Of what we went,
because
what
he definitely
between us.
He definitely got people's attention on a radio-esque drama with the kill stream there, but I don't think he did it the way he wanted.
No, not at all. but that's the character, Matt Jarbo. I mean, he's always in character.
You're right.
Always in character. Rarely do you see him slip out into a real moment, and I think you guys caught it.
Yeah.
On that video, you hear it. He slips into a real place for a moment.
Yeah.
And
it was interesting.
Dropping out of character.
Definitely interesting. Well, all right, man. I'm going to go ahead and wrap it up here. I really appreciate you hanging out with me, man. And like I said, anytime you want to hit me up, don't be a stranger, dude.
Most certainly, man. Thank you.
All right, Michael. Thank you very much, man.
Good evening.